Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Maths Made Easy. Feel free to subscribe for more videos and leave a thumbs up if you found this educating. Today I'm going to cover the topic called simultaneous equations. Okay guys, this is an easy topic. A lot of my students ask me in the class, please go over simultaneous equations. Now simultaneous equations is one of the most easiest topics in the South African curriculum called the CAPS curriculum today. So I want to go over this to make sure that everyone grasps this. This is an important topic as you will be able to use this throughout grade 10, 11 and 12 and university levels because this is the entry level for matrices, which I will cover in a later stage as well. But let's start, guys. Let's take a quick look at an easy one. Okay, let's say you have x plus 2y equals 3 and 2x plus 6y equals 6. Now, this is a very easy example, but all of them will work exactly the same way. Now, before we start, there's two ways to do this. You can either do this with the elimination method or you can use the substitution method, okay? Now, using the substitution method is the easiest way. That's the easiest one. I've heard a lot of lecturers and teachers say that elimination is the easiest one. Well, I would say that would be a personal choice at the end of the day, but you're going to use the substitution one throughout your school year. You're not going to use the elimination one that much. So I want to cover the substitution method, okay? Now, to start the substitution method, you need to go over your equations first, okay? In one of the equations, you will need to have one of the unknowns as the subject. Now, if you don't have one of the unknowns as a subject, you have to manipulate that equation until you have one of the unknowns as a subject. And when doing this, you're gonna always go for the easiest one. Okay. Now, in this example, the x will be the easiest to get alone because when you need to get the x alone, there's nothing in front of the x except for the 1. Now, you don't need to get rid of the 1. You can't get rid of the 1. The only way you can do that is by dividing with a 1 and you're still going to end up with a 1. So that's going to be the easiest one to go with. Let me show you guys. So what you're going to do from here on out is you're going to say that x will be equals to 3 minus the 2y. Okay? The reason why we minus the 2y is if you can recall from grade 8 and grade 9 that the opposite of a plus is a minus and the opposite of a multiply is a divide. So if you have a plus on this side, you're going to have to minus on that side. So if you take this 2y over the rainbow, which is the equal sign here, you need to change the sign in front of what you are taking over. So the sign is a plus, I need to change that to the opposite of the plus, which will be the negative. That's why it becomes negative 2y. Now that I have the x alone, I'm going to call this equation 1. I don't do anything with equation 2. You just leave that as is, okay? If you have one subject, that's fine. You can leave it as is. From there on out, you're going to say that you are substituting equation 1 into equation 2, okay? So you're going to say that 2 open bracket, because there's an x, I need to substitute everything that is here into this x value over here. So x is equals to 3 minus 2y. So I'm just going to substitute 3 minus 2y right into that. After that, it's just the same plus 6y, and that will be equals to 6. Okay. From here on out, you're going to multiply the 2 into that. So you're going to say the 2 is multiplying into the bracket. 2 times 3 will give you 6, and then minus 2 times 2 will give you 4y. Okay, and that will plus with 6y, and that will be equals to 6. Why did I put this brackets here? Guys, you're not going to need to put the brackets here. The only reason why I'm putting this brackets here is to show you guys this is the result from multiplying my 2 into the brackets. Okay, so now that that is multiplied into the brackets, it gets simple from there on out. You're going to add what is the same, which will be those two. Okay, so minus 4 plus 6 will give you plus 2, so that's going to give you plus 2y. That will be equals to, now I have a 6 over here and you have a 6 over there. So that 6 you're going to take over to that side. Okay, it is a positive, so on that side it's going to become a negative, so it's going to be plus 2y and 6 minus 6, which will be 0. So 2y will be equals to 0. When you're done with that, you call that equation number 3. Now you're going to say that you're substituting equation 3 back into any one of these two. You can substitute that back into equation 2, or you can substitute that back into equation 3, equation 1. But it's always the easiest way to go by substituting it back into equation 1, the one that you manipulated. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say substituting into equation 1. After that, you're going to say that x will be equals to 3 minus 2 times 0, because 2y is 0. Now, if you have 2y here, y will also be equals to 0, because 0 divided by 2 will still remain 0. Okay, so that's why I don't take that any further. So now you're going to just substitute that 0 back into the y. After you did that, you're going to say that x will be equals to 3 minus 0, which will be 3. Okay, and then you're done. Now you've got your answers. There's the answer for the y, and there's the answer for the x. You can test this, however. If you would like to test this, the only thing you're going to do is you're going to substitute the values that you got for the y and the x back into any of the equations and see if it gives you 3. Now let's test it. Let's just quickly test this one out. Okay, the x is 3, so let's put 3 in there. So 3 plus 2 times my y was 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. So 3 plus 0 is 3. I know that my equation works. Let's test it into the second equation that they gave us. So 2 times 3 will give you 6. Plus 6 times 0 will give you 0. So that means 2 times 3 will give you 6. So 6 equals 6. So I know for a fact that the answers that I got is the correct answers, because while substituting them back into the equations to test, I can see that I indeed have the right answer. I hope you guys found this video educational, and feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers, guys.